Keep watching to learn how to make this delicious vegan spanakopita recipe. This is absolutely amazing and I'm sure you're gonna love it. So first up, I'm just using around 100 grams of frozen spinach, and you just put that with some boiling water and set it aside to thaw. Now we are going on to the vegan ricotta mixture. So we're using firm tofu for this. So I have 1 block of firm tofu. I'm just using the macro brand from Woolworths. And you just want to crumble that up into a food processor. You don't have to crumble it too much, just a little bit. Now we're adding in some nutritional yeast as well as 1 whole lemon juiced. So I think I ended up using a full lemon, and it was quite a big lemon, so you might need to use 1.5 if your lemon is a bit smaller. And then I'm going in with lots of fresh herbs. So here I have fresh dill, fresh mint and parsley, as well as 1 spring onion, some garlic powder, salt and pepper, and some almond milk just to mix everything through a bit better. Then once you've put that in the food processor for a few seconds, it will become this really nice ricotta-like texture. So I'm just tasting it here and adding in some more spices as needed. So I've just added in some more garlic powder, a little bit more lemon juice and salt and pepper. And then I stirred that all through and put in the thawed spinach. So you could also use fresh spinach and just like lightly cook it, but using the frozen spinach, it's just super easy to mix through. And again, I'm tasting it to make sure all the flavors are balanced. I decided to add in a little bit more salt and stir that all through. And that is literally all you have to do for the filling. It's so quick and easy, just all done in the food processor. How good. All right, so now we are going on to rolling our little spanakopitas. So I'm using this filo pastry. Again, I just bought it from Woolworths in the freezer section. You just have to make sure you let it thaw for a couple of hours before you use it, because it does need to be thawed completely before you roll it out. Otherwise it breaks quite easily if it's not fully thawed. So each of these filo pastry sheets are really quite thin, so just be nice and gentle with it. And we're just using 1 filo pastry sheet per little spanakopita round. So you could make this into a pie instead, which would be a lot easier and less complicated to roll. So you could literally just put all of that mixture that we just made into a pie dish and then put some layers of filo pastry on top. That would be super simple and easy to do, but I decided to make them into little rounds because this is the way I used to have it when I was younger, and I think it just tastes so good. So what I'm doing here is putting in a nice long strip and putting some plant milk on the side just to wet the filo pastry a bit so it rolls a bit easier. And then again, I'm putting some more of that almond milk on top. You could use soy milk or whatever milk you have at home, just to kind of wet the filo pastry so it doesn't break and crack. And then once you've put that plant milk on there, we are going to roll it up into a kind of snail-like formation, and it just goes so well when it's cooked. You'll see later on it like breaks apart and it's really nice to eat. These are great for if you're having friends over, if you're having like a party type thing, because it's kind of like finger food. You can use your hands to eat it, which is really nice, but also you can just have this as a meal. I actually did this for meal prep, so I made 3 servings worth from this recipe, but that's for a full meal. So this makes 9 little rounds, so if you're just doing it for finger food, that would be like 9, so 1 per person. But if you're having it for a full meal, I would say to have 3, because then you're getting a good serving in of the protein from the tofu. But yeah, just repeat that again until you make 9 of your beautiful little spiral filo pastry things, and then we pop that into the oven for around 20 minutes. You do want to check on it just to make sure it's not going too cooked. So I actually didn't cook it fully because as I said, I made this for meal prep, so I didn't actually eat it straight then and there. I put it in the fridge and then I reheated it in the oven later. So as you can see here, they're not super golden, but that was on purpose because I recooked them later. So this is what they look like. I just put it all into a Tupperware and put it in the fridge, and then later on when I was ready to serve, I served it with little side salad. So here I'm just using some butter lettuce, some cucumber, and some cherry tomatoes. You don't have to serve this with a salad if you don't want, but I do think it's a great way to get some extra veg and greens in. And then here I have my 3 beautiful spanakopitas, and yes, as I mentioned, I did reheat them in the oven to get them nice and crispy and golden and delicious. And just listen to that. It is so nice and crunchy, and then in the center it has this beautiful taste, and the fresh dill really makes it, and the fresh mint as well. To be honest, I don't think it really needs parsley, but I just had leftover parsley, so I decided to use it. And this is how I love to eat it. I love to just use my hands and break it apart like that. Oh, it's just so satisfying and so tasty. And honestly, this is such a healthy meal because you're getting in the protein from the tofu, so it's actually probably healthier than the original recipe, which uses cheese, because we've got more protein in there from the tofu. And it's just so great. And the nutritional yeast, you're getting some B vitamins in there. It's just, yeah, it's just an all-round great meal, and it's actually super easy to prepare. The only hard part is the rolling, and as I said, you could just make it into a pie instead if you don't really want to be bothered with the rolling. But yeah, that is it. That is this beautiful vegan spanakopita meal. I really hope you try it out and let me know if you do. Bye.